We have a trigger warning for this episode. There are talks of suicidal thoughts and suicidal behaviors. So if that is...
Suicidal ideation.
Ooh, that's a good one.
You like that?
Yeah, add it in there. Yeah. Hashtag ideation.
Yeah, it's right at the beginning. So
yeah. So if you want to skip past, great. If there's something that affects you, then skip this episode altogether. We love you. And
we need you here with us. Thank you for being here. Hello, my little bear cubs, and welcome back to the Sleuth
and Malone ponies. That's right. People's champions.
Do I ever fucking interrupt you?
Yeah, all the time.
No, not you. I haven't even said the name of the goddamn show, and you're already yapping. Welcome back to another episode of Secondhand Therapy. We need to remind you we are not shut up therapists, experts of any kind. This is not a substitute for therapy. This is not professional advice. I'm not in a good mood. What?
We have a Patreon.
We have a Patreon, patreon.com/secondhandtherapypod. You could support us. That'd be lovely.
Where's this attitude coming from?
My childhood, probably. Here's the episode. We're not going to get into it yet.
So there was this gun by the headboard that I found when I was at my buddy's house.
Yeah. Loaded
and ready to go. Because,
as Tony Soprano would say, there's nothing more useless than an unloaded gun.
Yeah. But it's Texas,
Yeah.
I'm house sitting for my buddy. I didn't think about it. It was pretty shocking. Have you ever just found a random gun in a house?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I found a gun in a stack of sweaters once.
A stack of... You are fucking Italian. This is my summer wear.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was moving my things from the guest room down to the main, the master bedroom there.
Yeah.
And, I was plugging my phone in, doing all that, and then just a gun right by the pillow.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to tell you.
What did it taste like?
Sweet relief.
Yeah.
I can tell you, I thought about it the rest of that day.
The fact that there was a loaded gun right there?
Yeah.
And that you're just like,
Yeah, it's like, you ever bring home leftovers and then they're in the fridge and that's all you think about? You're like,
You know what's unreal? Anytime something happens to you, it comes with a simile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
like
being relatable.
I don't know if being relatable. Just it's like when you it's like finding a gun. That's what it's like. It's not like anything else because you know what? Chow mein can't kill me, can it? Not right away. If you choke on it, yeah, all right. You're such a cunt. Go ahead. What else is it like?
I don't think that finding a gun is that common, so I would use a simile. Anyways, I thought about it all afternoon about there's a gun there.
But what else were the thoughts other than there's a gun there?
Oh,
I could do it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh.
Nobody's here.
It's right there.
It's just me.
Who would have fed the dog?
I mean, that's an easy fix. I just hire somebody.
Oh. I see. I got you. I was in the wrong place. Yeah.
Yeah, you hire somebody.
Yeah, but then they find your body.
Nah, you gotta use this.
Okay.
Nah.
So here's the question. Mm-hmm. Why didn't you?
I'm not in that headspace anymore. I haven't thought about that, the old Irish goodbye in a long, long time.
Mm.
And I'm in a way different place now. But it was scary to have those thoughts creep in with the option there. That's what scared me.
Mm.
And also, when I was a kid, like 15. My family went on this trip down to Florida.
How fat were you at 15?
Oh, buddy. As big as this chair. I'm just a love seat walking around.
Oh my God! You know what? You were supposed to defend young Michael.
Defend the truth.
Hey, you know what? It doesn't matter because I was lovable.
Oh, yeah, I was a love seat. That's lovable.
Yeah. Okay. So 15.
Yeah, I'm a piece of fucking furniture.
All right. There we go.
I'm down in Florida.
I'm very sorry I did this to you.
Fat Michael pulls the trigger.
Stop.
It's not going to be me. It's not going to be me.
Stop. It's not Fat Michael.
He's coming after me.
It's not Fat Michael.
Anyway,
we don't refer to him that way anymore.
Anyways, I'm down in Florida with my family. We're on like this little vacation. We're headed to Disneyland, if you must know. Probably don't care. Anyway, we stop along the way at this little hotel. We're on the second story. I have a dream that night, and I have very vivid dreams. And I can still remember it to this day. It was this like Western setting, and I remember that I had to get away from these kind of bad guys that were after me, and the only way was to jump off of the balcony onto my horse, and I could ride to safety. Here's why that's important.
Why would you want to break that horse's knees?
Hey, man, I'm thin and handsome in my dreams.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Poor horse.
Poor horse.
Small detail. It was a Clydesdale. It would have been fine.
So here's why that's important, because my mom informs me the next morning. She was like, what were you doing last night? I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, you got up in the middle of the night and you went outside and you had one leg over the balcony. And I said, Michael, where are you going? And then you came back inside, shut, locked all like the little hotel, all the little fucking things, and then went back to bed. Didn't think any of it. I don't remember any of that. I was sleepwalking apparently in this thing. I don't think I've ever done that before or since. But the point is, really vivid dreams, sometimes that takes action mid-sleep. And having a gun by the pillow, not ideal for my subconscious, I don't think.
Okay.
Do you agree or not agree with that?
I mean, I don't know. You did something once. I get why it's a fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's just your thing of like worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Like, if I were ever to sleepwalk again, tonight's the night.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I get why you would think that. That makes sense.
So I had to hide the gun. I took it into the big walk-in closet, and I made it hard for sleep, Mike, to find the gun. And then just tried to forget about that it even existed for the rest of my trip. So I'm telling my therapist this. We have like this great first like 3/4 of a conversation. Our session is just like kind of just like catching up and doing this and that. And then like that last quarter, I was like, hey, by the way, I found a gun and here's my thoughts. And she was like, oh, okay. So we unpacked it, and she's really great at reframing. She said that finding that gun is a good thing because that means that your friends trust that you're in a better space. And if they didn't trust that you were capable of having that around, or if they were worried about you still, or any of those things, then you wouldn't have access to things like that. So that is a good thing that it was just left out. That means that they're not worried about you anymore in those ways.
Do you think that's what happened? I
I
would say this friend is not that kind of thoughtful. No?
I think the reality is he just forgot to put it away.
That's what I think so too.
But it's a nice thought of reframing.
It is a good reframe. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did it work? Did it help?
Yeah.
That's nice.
And then she was talking about early on when I first started with her, that she confessed that she was worried about me. And
So you're going to stop showing up, huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You're going to have a dream, turn a horse's kneecaps into the dust, and
yeah,
then quit showing up.
yeah.
Okay. She used to.
She used to.
Okay.
And she hasn't felt that way in a long time. And that she's seeing the progress that I've been making and that I am in a better place. And then she doesn't worry about that anymore.
That's nice.
That's real nice.
Yeah. That's really nice progress to hear. From
But,
somebody you trust and you open up to.
yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
But it was a little jarring to hear that she was worried about me.
Really? It was jarring for you?
Yeah, because I get it when people... Even when friends reach out here and there, I'll post something. Like I just posted a couple weeks ago a picture of me in a bathtub with a toaster, and it said, "I hope this email finds you well." And I thought, very funny. This is like a fun picture thing, but it's one of those things where we can't control how others receive it. And I got a couple messages that were like, "Hey, hope you're doing okay." I'm great. And this goes back to what I was talking about a few episodes ago. I want to be able to post something and fucking not talk about it. I want to be able to walk away from it. I said, this is what I wanted to say. Goodbye.
But what were you saying?
It was just a fun picture. It was just a funny idea that I had. Like a dude sitting in an empty bathtub with a toaster. Like I was wearing like this nightgown thing. It was funny. And it says, "I hope this email finds you well." I think that's a funny thing.
Okay.
I know you would never.
Oh, buddy.
You wouldn't.
You want me to set my phone up and set a timer and put on an outfit and stage a picture?
I know.
Hey, where'd you put that gun?
Yeah. But so I get it if I post something and either strangers from the internet or sometimes, let's just call them distant friends, would check in and be like, "Hey, I hope you're doing okay," or "Hey, or what's going on?" Blah, 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 blah. Like, I get that because, again, I realize that I can't control how they receive it. And a lot of times I'm kind of blind to it. There are some posts that I put up where people are like, "Man, I was worried because you posted, whatever." And I'm like, that was an alarm? But I forget how open I am about my feelings and about how, I'm sharing these things a lot of times because I'm at a point where I'm able to share them. A lot of times I'm not sharing in these moments of tragedy or while I'm going through it. I've been through it and I'm feeling better and now I want to talk about it. And so to have the same reaction of like, "Oh, I'm past that and I'm able to share," and then to have them still be stuck on, "Oh, he's in a bad spot. He needs me." No. I needed you then. But I wasn't going to tell you. Now I'm past it. I'm able to share and I don't want to talk about it. You're here. I'm here. We're done with that. So where this comes around to the therapist is I'm very honest with her, obviously. And I can see when strangers don't get the whole picture and they're concerned. But for her to hear the whole picture and have the true emotions and the honesty and where I'm at and everything and then be like, "Ooh." That was a little jarring to hear because it's somebody that really knows the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Did you get any relief that she doesn't feel that way anymore?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm in a way better spot. And it was kind of throwing me off to have those. I want to be clear here. There was no plan. There was no anything there for using what I found. You know what I mean? Like it didn't even go that far.
Yeah.
But and I don't know if this is a common thing or not, but like when you have had thoughts like that before, you still have them every once in a while.
Yeah. I mean, common for me. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was more like that, but I haven't been down that road in a long time. And I didn't even go down that road. I just kind of like drove by it. And I was like, oh, hey, there's that fucking thing. I'm like, hey, we haven't thought about that in a while.
Yeah.
I think that was the more jarring thing. Was just that popped into my head. And so I told her that. And again, she reassured me that, like, that is a intrusive thought. And it's common, especially with people with ADHD, where we tend to jump ahead. Not only in conversations, but in ideas and, daydreams and all those stuff, that we jump way the fuck ahead. And so that's why when negative things spin out of control, it's bad for us ADHDers, because we get into that worst case scenario, right? Like the example she used was a regular person could walk by an open manhole and be like, oh, an open manhole, and just keep going. Where somebody like me would be like, oh my God, there's an open manhole there. What if I miss my step when I'm walking by, or I'm like texting somebody and I don't see it, and then I fall down this fucking manhole, and then we just go from there. Those are the thoughts that I have. And so in this scenario, it's just an intrusive thought that just kind of passed by. I find this gun, and then I go down that path. Oh my God, what if I'm in the middle of my sleep and I fucking blow my fucking brains out in a dream, and now I'm like dead and I can control it, and like, yeah. That's what happens. I have worst case scenario and ADHD. Yeah. So that also made me feel better. And then she said something really funny. Because it was my mother's birthday that weekend. That I was like the first weekend that I was there.
Yeah.
My therapist said, she goes, oh, your mom left you a gift.
It's really funny.
That's so funny.
It's a great joke.
It's so dark, and I loved it so much, and it just lightened all of that dark shit that I was feeling or thinking about, and even expressing to her those thoughts that I had, it was scary. Because I didn't want it to come off as like, again, there's a plan. I'm really thinking about. It wasn't any of that. It was just a passing thought. It was an intrusive thought.
But it was there all day.
It was there for a few hours until I moved the gun. Because of the worst case scenario of just like, what happens if I'm not in control?
Here's my black and white brain. I'm like, the first thing you said was, it was on my mind the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And now we got a different timeline. That's all I can think about right now. I'm like, okay, so was it the rest of the day? Was it a couple hours? Like, what did I just hear?
That's what you're hooked on? That's so wild.
Yeah. I took it so literally.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so you slept it off. And you're like, nah, I just moved it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. Did you put the gun back?
I did.
Nice.
Yeah.
What did it taste like? Be honest.
I don't know. Dude, can I tell you? Yeah. This is honestly how I moved the gun.
Yeah. What part did you hold?
Just the fucking handle.
Yeah.
Literally was like, don't even fucking look at this thing. Like, I fucking held it like, I found a fucking roach in it. So like picking it up like, all right, he's got to go outside.
Couldn't even hold it like regular.
No, man.
Are you afraid it was going to go off or something?
Yeah, I get... Here's the thing about being open about your feelings on the internet to strangers.
Yeah.
When accidents...
Don't do that.
Yeah,
But
don't
go
do
ahead.
that. When accidents happen, it's going to look like it's on purpose. So, like, if that gun were to go off and I accidentally shoot myself, nobody's going to believe that that was a fucking accident.
Oh, hey, don't post that you accidentally shot yourself. Problem solved. You know why? Because strangers on the internet don't need to know that.
Hey, where's Malone? It's been 6 weeks. You guys don't have a new episode. He accidentally shot himself. Also, when I'm like...
Do you think you're going to be in the hospital for 6 weeks if you shoot yourself in the leg?
No, but I'll be like, I don't know what the fuck. Anyways...
You'll be fine 2 days later.
Here's the majority of times I think about it when I'm shaving. And sometimes I'll cut myself like right on the neck, like the Adam's apple area. And I'm like, oh, people are going to... If this bleeds out on accident, people are going to be like, he finally did it.
Bleeds out.
And I'm going to be like...
You're not hitting your aorta.
I'm just saying, like, it's the thought that it's my worst case scenario. When I'm shaving sometimes and I get a little nick there, I'm like...
You're like, is that where my jugular is? Oh, my God.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, people are going to... Like, if this were a serious thing, people will not believe that it was an accident. I'm going to have to, like, call a few, like, you and be like, it wasn't on purpose. Then fucking... die in a hotel bathroom in Iowa somewhere on accident.
The insanity in my mind that you accidentally hurting yourself, the only thing you could think of is, what are people going to think? That is the most people pleaser, arrogant, ego-driven shit you have ever said.
That's the truth.
I could be bleeding out in the bathroom. What's everybody going to think? What are they going to say?
It's the truth.
Hey, man. What?
I'm going to be bleeding, putting out a fucking Instagram story. It wasn't on purpose. I'm finding a GIF
People are
that I
going
can
to
use.
People are going to be saying, call 911, dumbass. Why are you doing this? Call 911.
I'm be scrolling for the right song.
Oh
What can
my
I use before I die?
Buddy.
Yeah.
You poor thing.
Yeah, man. That wouldn't cross your mind.
No.
Oh.
No. I also don't... the internet's not for sharing for me.
Yeah.
Outside of this podcast, it's not what it's for me.
But even so, you have been open. We're both open about thoughts that we have in the darkness and things like that. So if something that were to happen, people are aware of the things that you've shared. Mm-hmm. So if that were to happen, they would probably connect those. It doesn't matter if you're sharing on the daily or not, or personal or whatever.
That's fine.
Then they'd be like, yeah, that guy on the podcast who used to talk about killing himself all the time. Turns out they found him in his bathroom with his fucking neck.
Okay.
You wouldn't want to like set the record straight. Like that's not what happened.
No.
Oh man.
Buddy, you know how many people have watched my short film and assumed that she killed herself?
Mm.
That's what everybody thought. Oh, I get somebody with suicide is so hard. She didn't kill herself. I did not correct a single person.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Mm.
People on the internet, I know I'm not saying this literally, they're not real people. They're just spectators.
Yeah.
That's all they are. They're spectators who think their opinion matters. To some people in their life, it does. It doesn't matter to everybody.
Mm.
It's not real.
Yeah, I think I would. If I go out that way, I'm just gonna haunt my Instagram. Just try to post.
If you go out the way, I'm telling everybody you killed yourself.
Don't do that, dude.
I am.
God damn it!
Now
I gotta haunt you.
And you had a jar of mayonnaise in your ass. He had one of the Costco jars of mayonnaise in his ass, and he cut his throat. He put shaving cream all around him. We know what happened.
We know what happened. We know the truth.
Yeah. No, man. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Why do you think you care so much what people even people that aren't close to you think. People, these distant friends or just people that just follow you. Why do you think you care so much what they think?
I mean, it all goes back to validation, right? And acceptance. I just wasn't validated or accepted when I was little.
I thought your mom constantly validated you.
Yeah, but again, like what we keep going back to is she loved me so much that her opinion really didn't matter. You know what I mean? Like it's rose-colored glasses. So like she loved me no matter what the fuck I did, whether I was right or wrong or whatever. So like why would I put stock into what she says if there is no level of whatever?
Isn't that the kind of love you want? Someone to love you no matter what?
No, if I'm fucking up, I want somebody to tell me I'm fucking up.
And they can't love you while they do that?
Well,
It sounds like your mom was giving you unconditional love,
yeah.
and you wanted conditional love. Like you wanted to earn it.
I don't know if I want to earn it. I think maybe it goes back to feeling needed in those kind of situations, right? So like I don't want a partner that do I want a partner? I don't know. I don't know.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that I've been in relationships where if I didn't look a certain way or act a certain way, then love was withheld from me.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like that. So that's conditional love. And I hated that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that at the time.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I know it now.
I can challenge you on something.
Yeah.
You're not going to like it.
I never do. I never fucking do. Yeah.
Whenever we talk about the way your mom loved you, it's always unconditional. Whenever we talk about your people pleasing, it's always because if you did a certain thing, mom would get mad. Which doesn't match unconditional love.
She wouldn't get mad. She'd be disappointed. And that's different.
Right.
Anger and disappointment are two different things.
For sure. But it sounds like you would do something and it would affect the way she was toward you. And maybe you wouldn't. I'm just saying how it sounds. I'm not saying this is a fact. It sounds like there was more conditional love than you are able to admit to yourself. And I think it's kind of what we talked about last week in the multiple truths.
Yeah.
Of your mom really loved you a lot. But maybe she knew how to get you to do certain things using that love and affection. Or getting you to behave certain ways, the way she wanted you to.
Yeah.
And it sounds like that's a pattern you followed into relationships.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it goes back to the conversation you and I had months and months ago, the Happy to Be Here episode. That's literally how I've operated in the past.
Yeah.
I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy that you chose me and that I get to be here.
Yeah. Because you don't think you're good enough to be there.
Right.
Yeah.
And so in relationships, that's how I've always operated. And that goes into that conditional love. Like, I'll do whatever you need me to do. I'm just happy to be here. So I'll do that. Yeah. You need me to do this? You got it.
Yeah. You're going to love me? I'll do it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. What are you feeling right now?
curiosity. I'm wondering if I would still operate in relationships like that with all the progress that I've made and the value that I have now on myself and these changes that I've made and the treatment that I accept and things like that. I mean, I'm nowhere near where I need to be as far as like boundary setting goes and sticking up for myself and having uncomfortable conversations and things like that. But I have been doing them more and more. And so I'm wondering now how I would operate in a relationship that was treating me like before. If I would stick around, or if I would be like, hey, this ain't it.
Are those the only two options?
No. I mean, obviously, the step one is conversation, right? But if things don't change, or if things keep going back, if you're in like this endless loop of like, yeah, we just keep having the same conversation, then it's like, hey,
Yeah.
I gotta go. This isn't. We've tried this.
Yeah.
It's not working.
Yeah.
Where before I would just be like, we're working on it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, how long have you been working? 3 years.
Same problem?
Same issue.
Yeah. Can I answer the question from my experience?
Yeah.
You're going to fight it forever.
Yeah.
You just become much more aware of your own behaviors. But yeah, I mean, maybe it switch flips one day.
Yeah.
But I notice myself battling all my old shit all the time. It's still my instinct.
Battling but not giving in.
Sometimes I do.
Oh, really?
Because it feels so safe.
Yeah.
And so easy. And it's my, like I said, it's my instinct. It's my instinct is to get defensive and make a shitty little comment, hoping you correct me, rather than being like, hey, I don't like what happened and I'm feeling this kind of way. Can we talk about it? Sometimes I'll do that, but sometimes I'll just make a shitty comment and hope you go, what's going on? That's not what happened. That like just hoping you tell me I'm wrong. Sometimes I still do that shit.
What is that rooted in? Why do you look for conflict? Or why do you...
I don't think I look for conflict. It's that I'm upset and growing up, vulnerability was dangerous and there was never room for me to have my needs met. And so instead of approaching my partner and leaning on the foundation that we've built and the safe space that we've built to work on our relationship when we need to, and to bring our insecurities or fears or feelings forward, instead of leaning on that, I don't. And I revert back to just making a shitty little joke or a shitty little comment disguised as a joke.
Yeah.
Because I just want to be heard.
Yeah.
Right? I just want you to react. So, yeah.
So that you're not the one that has to be vulnerable. They have to be the one that brings.
Yeah, or they can be like, hey, like I'm doing it for you now, not because I needed it, because you asked me what's wrong.
Does it feel needy?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But the point is, I still do that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope one day the switch flips and I just don't do it anymore, but that's what I've done my whole life. That's what's felt safe and comfortable. And the difference is now I'm with a partner that, like I said, we have built a very good foundation and a safe space to have these conversations, that I can always recognize what I'm doing or what I've done. It's just sometimes it's after it's happened.
Yeah.
But I can recognize it and be accountable and say, hey, I'm sorry I made that little comment, instead of just telling you I've felt whatever. I'm so, like, I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry. She goes, yeah. She's always, she knows I'm working on myself and she's working on herself, and she always acknowledges, like, yeah, it's okay. I know you're doing your work, and she's like, you give me grace, I give you grace, and It's okay. Thank you for apologizing. And we move on. But yeah, the switch hasn't flipped yet. So to answer your question from my experience, you're probably going to be the same sometimes, and you're probably going to show a lot of growth sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Relationships are so fucking hard, dude.
Yeah. I check in with myself every once in a while, and I don't know when I'll be ready for another one.
Yeah.
It feels so far away.
Mm-hmm. Can I tell you something?
Mm-hmm.
You're never going to feel ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like everything else, right?
It's like everything else.
Yeah.
It's like people are like, we're waiting to be ready to have kids. You're never going to be ready.
You're never going to be ready, yeah.
You're never going to be ready. You're as ready as you're going to be. Keep doing your work. And that's, I know it's such a cliche as like, it always happens when you least expect it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so yeah, when you decide that you're going to put yourself out there and you've done enough work, you're going to meet someone that you're going to be like,
Yeah.
I got to fucking buck up and, because you just know that there are women, speaking for myself, and I'm sure you can relate, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate. You meet someone and there's something in you that's like, if I don't try this, I'm going to think about it for a real long time, and I'm always going to wonder.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to meet someone like that. And someone is just going to kind of fit. And it's going to be real fucking weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how refreshing is it now to have somebody in your life that is also doing the work and understanding and patient and all those great things?
It's great. I'd also like to be clear, she's not always those things.
Yeah.
She's not always understanding, and she's not always patient, because she's doing a lot of work as well. And one of the bigger I don't want to say problems. One of the bigger things that we're constantly working on is taking space from a conversation when we need to. Because I'm hardwired to like emotionally grit through it and like, let's resolve this as hard and as uncomfortable as it is. Let's get through it so we can resolve.
Yeah.
And she is more of like, I am overloaded. I need to walk away from this.
Mm-hmm.
And so we kind of have this, sometimes we do it my way, sometimes we do it her way, but whichever way we do it, one of us is going to feel very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So that's one of our constant like things that we are working on, is taking space when we need it, at a point where I can be like, okay, I feel safe that this isn't a big thing. Let's take space. And she's at a point where she's not completely overloaded and feels like she needs to run away or something like that.
Yeah.
Finding that ground of taking space when we're unable to resolve things quickly. But yeah, to answer your question, it's great. I feel incredibly lucky with the partner that I have.
Yeah.
She's not perfect. No one's perfect. But I truly believe that we have something very special and very long lasting. And like I said, I think we've built a very solid foundation of friendship, of trust and transparency, and love, and that we truly care about each other and we truly do our best to make sure that both of our needs are being met.
Yeah.
And I've never been in a relationship like that before.
That's what I was just going to ask, if it was like the contrast to past relationships and how different it is.
It is alarming to look at. Yeah.
But you're also younger then, and it's
Yeah, for sure.
we're different, and
But I look at my relationship now and then look at past partners and past relationships, and I'm just like, how did that go on longer than 3 months?
yeah,
You know? Yeah, it's fucking weird, man. This is so corny, but like, gosh, man, it's such like, life is such a fucking journey, you know? I hate that I just said that out loud, but like, I don't have a better way to describe it.
Did you read that on a bumper sticker on the way in?
But like, dude,
Hey, look out for the Life's a Journey T-shirts on our merch page, man. They're really fucking fire.
why don't you go put a mayonnaise jar in your ass, you piece of shit? I don't have a better way to describe it.
No, I don't.
It's crazy, man. You don't ever look back and be like, what the fuck?
Oh,
How did I get here?
yeah, but in a different way. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
How did I fucking get here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully you're always changing, and hopefully you're always evolving.
I was thinking about that today. I think when people get in a relationship, they kind of struggle with what we were talking about with you, in that it's so important to them how other people see their relationship and see them. And, you know, somebody says to you, like, you know, you've really changed since you've been with that person. Like, good, dude.
Yeah.
I fucking hope so. You think I'm the same fucking asshole? Like, and that it seems like it's always a negative thing when people are like, wow, you've really changed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Hopefully this person that you're with is adding to you.
Yeah. Hopefully
Yeah.
I'm changing.
Yeah.
Hopefully she's also changing. And it's just this weird thing that, like, I don't know, people are so averse to change. They think you're supposed to be who you have always been is who you're supposed to be forever.
Yeah.
And it's such a weird idea to me. Now. I used to get it.
Yeah. Did you used to feel that way?
Yeah, you are who you are, and yeah, that's not real. I've changed so much over the last couple of years, so have you.
Yeah.
And I've changed in my relationship.
Yeah.
As an individual and as a partner.
Yeah.
Like, that. Good. I hope I'm fucking still evolving. I don't know, man. I don't know. Why does anybody give a fuck about what other people are doing? Just, I don't get it.
Yeah, I think it is a little bit of just, we are living in here's my generic old man thing. I think we are just living in a time where everything is on display. And
Yeah,
so,
we just live in a fishbowl.
yeah, and it used to just matter what people in your community thought. And so when you got married or whatever, it was like, it mattered to that community. And you'd be like, well, you know, 3 houses down, they met on a fucking, and everybody knew your story.
Hey, guess what? It doesn't matter what they thought either.
Yeah, but now,
Yeah.
everybody can see.
Everybody has access.
Yeah, everybody has access.
Everybody has access to you.
Yeah.
And
That's something I am recently learning and working on, is not allowing everybody to have access to me. And I think that goes along with seeing my value and self-worth differently now, and realizing that not everybody gets that opportunity. And
where'd you get that?
I read it on a bumper sticker.
That's not true. He can't read.
It said, life's a journey, and it said, everyone doesn't get access to you. Yeah, and it's a big mind fuck for me. It's a big shift. Because
Not giving people access to you?
yeah. Because as you know, I'm the people's champ.
Oh, well,
You know?
you're the people pleaser.
People's champ. So, yeah. But realizing that giving myself away in big or small ways to, I don't want to say people who don't deserve it, but people that I don't want to invest in.
People who don't deserve it. I'm fine with that. It's perfect description.
Relationships and friendships and things like that that I don't actively want to invest in. We're closed.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's it feel?
Terrible.
Why? Terrible how?
Mean. Rude.
It feels mean and rude.
It does a little bit.
Wow.
But the other part of me is again on the come up of like self-worth and value and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, this is how not only we maintain that, but we also get better at that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I have a question.
All right.
What happens? Because you had said, something along the lines of when you find your person and you feel like it just fits and you feel so lucky and like all those things.
Mm-hmm.
What happens?
I'm nervous.
If you might have found that person and you walked away from it?